of Chuck Norris.
You know, you always hear about all these belts and everything, you know, and I mean, I'm not into it. You know, obviously I'm not into that. I'd have a pink belt, if I, you know. But what do you got to do? I mean, what's like a brown belt, and this guy has a black belt. Is that much of a difference that makes you so much better from?
Well, not really. The thing is, you have like white belt, which is the beginning stage, then blue belt, which is the advanced beginning stage, green belt intermediate, brown or red, depends on the style, which is advanced, and then of course your black belt signifies your instructor ranking.
Oh, so you can teach it, which is what you did for years. How do you stay in shape? You still work out?
Yeah, 3 hours every day. Yeah.
Really? Doing what? I mean, karate workout or?
3 days of the week it's strength training, weights and pull-ups and push-ups and all that. And then the other 3 days is my karate training. So, because my movies, you know, as you can tell, are very physical films. And, you know, when I do a fight scene like that fight scene you just saw, it's a lot longer than that. There's 17 guys I fight in this film. And that one fight there. But it took us 4 days, 14 hours a day to get that fight scene done. So you can realize how many kicks I threw in those 4 days.
You ever rip your pants?
No, I wore stretch Levi's.
I was wondering, you know, you got that rip.
I did that once. I did that once.
Yeah.
I was working out with Bruce Lee years ago before he went to Hong Kong. And so we worked out in his garage. So one day I went over and I had these pants on. And he used to make all these dummies to kick and punch. So I had this one dummy with a head that would rock like this. So he says, kick the head. You know, and I go, geez, I don't know, my pants are kind of tight. He said, oh, go on. So I kicked and I ripped them all the way up the back and they fell right to my ankles. I mean, completely ripped right off, just completely tore up. So now I wear stretch pants from now on.
What was, you know, in the first movie you made with Bruce Lee, and I remember seeing the film, Return of the Dragon, he beat you in the film. Now, in real life, how do you think you and Bruce Lee, did you ever?
Well, you know, that's an unanswerable question because the thing is, you don't know until you do it. The thing, I was a fighter. I fought, you know, for years. Bruce never competed. He never fought professionally. And, but he was one of the best technicians and one of the best conditioned guys I ever ran into. He would have been a phenomenal fighter. It just wasn't the route he took. He, you know, he went into films early, well, into that TV series, The Green Hornet.
Right, yeah.
And so he didn't have to go the fighting route like I had to go.
What do you think, you know, and put modesty aside, what made you, I mean, you were a champ for so long, and what do you think the difference was? What made you so good?
Well, you know, it's a hard thing to answer, but I think the main thing you have to be ready. You have to be physically, mentally, and psychologically prepared. A lot of fighters will be physically prepared, but not mentally or psychologically, or vice versa. And what that means is physically means being in the very, very best shape you can possibly be in. Mentally means that you have the intellect to know what the weaknesses of your opponent is. What is his weaknesses? How can you penetrate his weaknesses? What are his strengths that you have to watch out for? And then psychological, it means believing in yourself that you can win. A lot of fighters, it's amazing, would go into the ring and you could see in their eyes that they weren't going to win. And so you've got to have that belief in yourself that there's no one that can beat you. They do, of course, I've lost too. But you go in there believing that you can win.
I always felt personally the edge was always how much money you had in your wallet and were willing to give to avoid, you know.
In karate, there's no money. There's no money in it.
And then, of course,